Hey, what's up, guys? Spencer Rhodes here. So, Negan is a character that has mostly, actually, as far as the TV to comic comparison goes, Negan is probably the most closely adapted character in the entire Walking Dead, as far as, being adapted from the comics, being a character in the TV show, your storyline, your dialogue, the things you do, whether or not you die, etc. Negan is pretty closely followed from the comics, even more so than Rick, I would say. He kills Glenn like the comics. He says a lot of the lines that he says from the comics. He gets locked up like the comics. And right now he's locked up in his cell, and he has been locked up for most of season 9. He got out once and decided to actually come back and try to offer to be sort of an assistant to Michonne, maybe someone to give her advice on being a leader, and she just flat out said hell no. And things might have changed a little bit in this past episode because Judith. That's the thing about Negan. That's one of the sort of redemption things that Negan is doing or trying to do, or that could just be a trick for the writers. How do we make people forgive Negan? Oh, let's have him talk to a child and care about a child, because that'll make all the just everyone be like, oh, he's nice to a child, he's a great person. But even though he violently killed Glenn and Abraham, he's talking to a child. That's all that matters. But seriously, I think they probably tried to go for the Negan Judith dynamic, because they wanted to redeem Negan and make Negan more likable. And what makes you more likable than caring about a child, So I think that's kind of what they were going for with that. Plus, it had kind of been established that Negan cared about Judith ever since back in season 7 when she was a baby and he picked her up and everything. It seemed like he cared about her. So Negan has had a bunch of conversations with Judith, and Judith has spent time with Negan, and he's told her stories about Rick and Carl, which I kind of like. That's a good thing. Negan would have memories of Rick and Carl. Judith should be able to know about those things and know about the war and the history and everything. But Michonne doesn't like the fact that Judith and Negan are talking to each other, and Judith runs off because Michonne doesn't want to help other communities like the Kingdom and the Hilltop, and she thinks that if they need help, then they need help, and she wants to do the right thing, so she runs off. And Michonne goes to Negan's cell and questions Negan about, what's Judith doing, and she gets really mad at Negan and tells him, don't tell me how to raise my kid. And Negan basically says, you're right, she is your kid, that's why she's out there, because she's not going to take shit sitting down or something like that. And it almost seemed like Negan for a moment actually did something useful, and she actually helped, or Negan actually helped Michonne in that moment, and he basically told Michonne what to do, where Judith was and everything. And he didn't tell her where she was, but he told her why she left, basically. And that was kind of a redemption moment for Negan. Now, as for what they're going to do with the character, he's definitely going to survive season 9. He'll definitely be in season 10. Now, he's probably going to stay locked up for the next 2 episodes. The last 2 episodes of the season, I think Negan is just going to stay locked up. We might get more scenes of him, but he's probably going to stay locked up. Now, he's not going to stay locked up in season 10, but that's a whole different story. But as far as season 9 goes, Yeah, he's going to stay locked up. I'd be really surprised if he got out so soon after just getting out. I think he won't get out again until season 10. But that doesn't mean that he won't have scenes and he won't have interactions with other characters. And, maybe Michonne will open up to Negan a little bit. Maybe Michonne will allow Negan to give her advice on things, or maybe Michonne will let Negan talk to Judith more, or maybe Negan can get more chances to be productive. Like maybe he can get out and exercise under supervision of 5 people or something, or he can. I don't know if they let him read books. He was holding a book in one of his scenes, so I don't know how much they let him read. But just maybe this is the point where Michonne decides to give Negan some extra things. Like I said, maybe a 30-minute supervised time to be outside, walk around, or maybe he can give her advice on how to be a leader. Little things like that. And it's not because Michonne forgives Negan for Glenn and Abraham and everything that Negan did. It's really just because that's what her daughter wants. I mean, Judith thinks that Negan should get a chance to rehabilitate and to prove his worth and get a chance to atone. And he's been in prison for what, 8 years now. So maybe Negan should get some chances to do something besides just sit around in a cell. And like I said, if Michonne gives Negan some more extra, some more extra things like I explained, it's not because she forgives him. It's because that's what Judith wants. And, Michonne wants to make Judith happy. And I think that Michonne might give Negan some extra, some extra things, just sort of slowly let him do this, let him do that, while still pretty much being locked up and everything. I think that's what they might do with the character, have him slowly prove himself and slowly, get extra things. But after the heads on spikes, which should be happening in this upcoming episode, Michonne's probably not going to be too worried about making Negan suffer at that point. She might want to listen to what he has to say about what to do, how to deal with the Whisperers. She might be like, okay, fine, Negan, you used to be the leader of the Saviors. Give me advice. What should I do about the Whisperers? They just decapitated 12 people. That could be a scene where Negan has something important to say or something important to do. Of course, later on, he goes out and he actually gets out of his cell again, and he goes out and he kills Alpha. But that's something that's not going to happen until season 10. Just the last 2 episodes, that's too early. I don't want them to rush that. So that'll happen in season 10. Anyway, that's all I have for this video. So with all that said, don't be shy. Hit that like and subscribe. I'm not going anywhere. I make 1 to 2 Walking Dead videos per day, so please hit that subscribe button. Right now we are at 449 subscribers. My goal is to try to get to 500 in the next few months. So just remember, every subscriber counts, every bit of support matters, and is very, very appreciated. Hopefully we can get to that goal of 500. Anyway, with all that said, I am Spencer Rhodes, and I will see you guys later. Bye.